If people sneak into a theater through the exits hoping to watch a movie without buying a ticket, they're kicked out immediately once they are discovered, or even arrested. If some stranger walks into your house without permission, even if the door is unlocked and ajar, and they start relaxing on your couch, that's trespassing, or worse, and a crime. And so is entering a country without permission, even if you find an unguarded path or sneak in by hiding in the back of a truck. But this crime is being allowed and encouraged by Democrats for various reasons, one of which you're not supposed to say out loud, but everybody knows. Illegal immigration through our southern border has been a problem for many decades, and while some of the invaders used to get deported once apprehended, after Joe Biden took over as the president, word got out and he made it very clear that the U.S. was welcoming anyone who could make it to our southern border from anywhere in the world. Many of the people in the caravans who make the long trek from South and Central America were literally wearing Joe Biden t-shirts, and others admit that they were only coming because Joe Biden told them to.
I want for my people, I just want patience and pace that we can get to the U.S. because they're having a new president. Where's Biden? He's going to help all of us. He's given us 100 days to get to the U.S. and give us legal mental paper so we can get a better life for our kids and family.
Every single day, year after year, hundreds and often 2,000 or 3,000 people enter the United States illegally through the southern border, and the conservative estimates 10 years ago were that over 11 million illegal aliens lived in the U.S. But today, the realistic figures are triple that. It's common for the Border Patrol to spot 1,000 a day, every day, month after month, flooding in. And again, those figures are just the ones that we know about. At least 2 million invaded the United States in the first year that Joe Biden was president. That's well over 100,000 every single month. More than 2 million came the next year as well. Vice President Kamala Harris was surprisingly asked about this staggering number during an interview with Chuck Todd on NBC's Meet the Press, and she responded with this nonsensical word salad.
We have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
This was all part of the plan. During his campaign in 2020, Joe Biden said that as president, he would call for the migrants that the Trump administration was able to block from coming in to surge to the border and then would let them in. Meanwhile, Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the ADL, says that people who talk about open borders or caravans of migrants are using white supremacist phrases.
And the last point I would say, caravan, open borders. These are literally white supremacist phrases that have worked their way through the system and somehow landed in the talking points coming out of the West Wing. So we should be careful about using these phrases because we're literally using the narrative of these hateful, disgusting people.
Most of them falsely claim they're seeking asylum or that they need safe harbor from a hostile government they had fled, a well-known scheme used by illegal aliens to gain access to our country. Once they're inside, they're allowed to stay under those false pretenses and are given a court date to begin hearing their claims, which is often 10 years in the future. In the meantime, they apply for green cards, and unless they're arrested for a violent crime, they'll be deemed lawful permanent residents after a year and never be deported. And their children are automatically granted citizenship, permanently anchoring them to our country. But just allowing all those illegals is the tip of the iceberg of the preferential treatment that they're given, despite being criminals. 16 different states allow illegal aliens to get driver's licenses. Bank of America even allows them to get credit cards. In California, they're given government health care through the state's Medicaid program. During the 2020 election cycle, all 10 Democrat candidates running for president at the time raised their hands when asked by a debate moderator if they would offer Obamacare to all undocumented immigrants. Calling what's happening an invasion is considered hate speech because obviously it's an invasion and the puppet masters are desperately trying to discourage the American people from doing anything to stop it. The Department of Homeland Security under the Biden administration has even been caught secretly flying the aliens across the country in the middle of the night to disperse them throughout other regions. So they're not just concentrated in border states in the South. It's for diversity. Most of them have no desire to become Americans. They just want to take advantage of what America can offer them. They don't care about our culture, customs, holidays, or laws. They just want to create little Tijuanas within American cities they inhabit. Various Latino groups like La Raza, meaning the race, which was recently renamed Unidos US to sound less Latino supremacist, and Mecha, the Chicano student movement of Aztlan, support what's called the Reconquista movement, Spanish for reconquest, and openly brag about how they're plotting to take back, reconquer, territory in the American Southwest, including California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, in order to make their own country called Aztlan, which refers to a mythical homeland of the Aztecs. The other dirty secret of the illegal immigrant invasion, aside from the astonishing number of them continuously flowing into our country, are the millions of them who have anchor babies once they're here. An anchor baby is the child of an illegal alien mother who comes here pregnant or gets pregnant after she arrives, and then once she gives birth, the child is automatically granted citizenship, thus all but ensuring the mother will never be deported. Each year, there are hundreds of thousands of anchor babies born to illegal alien mothers across the United States. Analysis conducted by the Center for Immigration Studies shows that it's about 400,000 on average every year, dating back to at least 2018. The Congressional Budget Office published a report in 2017 estimating that at least 4.5 million anchor babies are currently living in the United States. So by now, it's more than double that. So about 10 million children of illegal alien mothers were granted citizenship after their mother broke into our country and invaded us. Of course, anchor baby is considered to be a racist slur, just like illegal alien, because the left tries to deter people from pointing out what's happening. The term refers to the children anchoring the mother to our country, and as you would expect, we end up paying for the hospital bills for the children to be born because the mothers don't have any insurance or money. And then we also pay the expenses for the mothers to raise the children through the various social welfare programs funded by our tax dollars, since they can't afford to raise them on their own. But it's not just illegal immigrants who are living off of our tax dollars. Over 50% of legal immigrant households receive some form of government welfare, from food stamps to housing assistance, school lunch programs, and Medicaid. A report by the Center for Immigration Studies shows that over 60% of non-citizens living in the U.S. use at least one form of welfare. Some Republicans have finally begun calling for an end to birthright citizenship, which automatically grants a baby citizenship if it's born on U.S. soil, even if the mother is here illegally. The sane thing to do would be only grant citizenship to the child if the mother is here legally. But we live in an insane and dysfunctional society. And of course, Democrats want to legalize the 30+ million illegal aliens living here so that they can be the party's new voter base. Democrats have turned their back on the working class and now pander to the welfare class, who just want free stuff. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, one of the most powerful U.S. senators for decades, had this to say.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are.
The dreamers, of course, are illegal aliens who were brought into the United States by their parents, and because they were children when they were brought here, Barack Obama set the precedent to treat them as if they're American citizens, following the proposals in a piece of legislation called the DREAM Act, the Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act, which protects them from deportation and all other laws that would apply to illegal aliens and allows them access to schools and universities, bank accounts, student loans, and everything else our country has to offer. But it's not just about the so-called dreamers, it's about all illegal aliens, every single one, who the Democrats have been encouraging to invade for nearly a decade now. At the same time, the Democrats are promoting American women to have abortions as if it's no bigger deal than going to the salon and getting their hair done. And feminism is promoting the idea that American women should put their careers ahead of marriage and children. And these same people are talking out of both sides of their mouth, saying that because of the low birth rates in America, since so few millennials and Zoomers are having children, we need to import countless millions of foreigners in order to keep America running. The Justice Department under the Biden administration was even planning on paying illegal aliens $450,000 each as a settlement for the Trump administration separating families when they were detained after crossing the border illegally. Only after news of the planned settlements made headlines did they abandon the idea. Illegal aliens aren't just using up resources they're not paying for, taking jobs away from Americans, having anchor babies that are automatically granted citizenship, and irreversibly changing our culture by making little Tijuanas within American cities. But a lot of them also commit a lot of crimes, and not just theft or fraud by using stolen social security numbers to get jobs, but violent crime, and a lot of it. You're not supposed to talk about that though. That would be xenophobic and racist. It is detailed in my latest book, however, The War on Conservatives, which you should order in paperback from Amazon.com. Actually, now it is also available in hardcover as well, or download the ebook from any of the major ebook stores. And of course, there's a link to the Amazon listings in the description below, so click it and head on over there and check it out.